Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Today it's all about protecting our health with social distancing and physical distancing, as experts are now recommending. Our next guest says the next most important thing we need to focus on is our emotional wellness. Dr. John Duffy is a psychotherapist, national speaker, author, and expert on parenting and relationships. He joins us now via FaceTime. Hi, Dr. Duffy.
Hi, Molly. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing all shut in?
I'm doing okay. It's always good to be talking to somebody on the yellow couch. It makes me feel less anxious.
I like that. And we love it when you're here in the studio. But I appreciate you joining us today from your office. Let's talk about what you think we need to turn our attention to now, which is our emotional health.
Yeah, if you can picture, so we see this curve fairly frequently that reflects the course of the virus, the predicted course of the virus itself. If you can picture a second curve right behind that reflects our collective degree of emotional distress, our next calling really, and what we can do while we're hunkered down, is manage our distress and our level of anxiety for ourselves and our families, because that, I think, curve is going to have a very hard time recovering, and it's going to require a lot of our strength and presence in order to really manage that well and to flatten the curve in the long run and the short run.
Why is it so tough for us right now? I mean, I get the part about being worried about being sick or getting someone you love sick who might really struggle if they get the virus. But is there more to it than just worrying about getting sick?
Yeah, you would think that, okay, we're all just home and we're just supposed to hunker down and this shouldn't be that stressful a time. But the truth is, we're all idling on high. Like one person, a young person I worked with recently put it, we are pre-traumatic. Like the bad things are about to happen. We don't even know the degree to which they're going to happen, but we know it's going to be pretty bad. So we're worried about what's coming and what's already happened. And so there's this kind of amalgam of things that are on our minds. Meanwhile, our mandate is sit still and don't do a whole lot. So I think the more we can find little things to do to either help other people, to maintain our own sense of well-being, the better off we are, because as much as things seem calm, none of us really feel calm inside. We're all anxious and fearful and agitated as we go here.
I think that's a good point. You mentioned some simple things that we can do at home. So what do you recommend to sort of maintain a healthy mental balance?
Yeah, so first of all, I think, I love when families spend time together. I also think it's really important to protect some time alone, to do some reading, to take a walk, to get some exercise, to take a bath, to do something where you are catering to your own well-being. One thing I also find is really helpful, especially with a lot of the young people I'm working with, is to do something for somebody else outside the home. So I'm working with kids who are putting care packages together for an elderly community pretty close by here. Working with some kids who go grocery shopping or pick up prescriptions for neighbors. So a lot of kids want something to do where they feel like, okay, I'm making some contribution to the greater good here. And this gives them a little sense of purpose in a time where they are really struggling with that. And oddly, we wouldn't expect necessarily the kids would rise right to this occasion, but the combination of boredom and a wish to feel something useful is actually working for them.
I've heard a lot of my friends talking about their kids fighting a lot now that they're together all the time, regardless of age.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, as much as we love our families, none of us are meant to be together all the time, 24/7. And even if we spend a weekend where we're all together, it's different when it's absolutely mandated that this is absolutely going to happen and we have no choice. So to create some separation of space, even within the house or the apartment, is part of the day anyway, is really important. So I'll talk a big game about play board games with your family, create memories with your family. Also, every once in a while, put in the earbuds, whether they have cords or not, and separate yourself too, because in a way, we really need to do everything we can to preserve our mental well-being for the long run and the short run. But the long run is really on my mind a lot these days.
Yeah, I bet, because we're going to have implications, it appears, down the road, especially if we don't do what we can to take care of ourselves right now. I also wonder about that spouse relationship, or you're with a partner and you're just almost on top of everybody all the time at home. What about getting along with our spouse and kind of giving each other some grace?
This is a great question. The couples I'm working with, I'm really a little bit worried about, because these relationships are strained in large part because they're going ignored in these early weeks of this crisis. So we're taking care of our kids, we're taking care of our households, we're taking care of work as best we can virtually. But I'm finding that couples aren't tending to each other or their relationship very well. So I think we need to protect some time to sit down and have a cup of coffee with our spouse or significant other, to spend some time after the kids go to bed, or to take a walk if that's reasonable, because we need to tend to this relationship as we go. This is the relationship we're most relying on for our strength, and we need them. We need them to be strong. And to the extent that we ignore them, we're creating tension that permeates through the household, and that isn't healthy at all.
Yeah, we need to set a good example for our kids, too. Dr. Duffy, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, seriously.
Absolutely. Take good care of yourself. We want to give people information about your book. It's phenomenal. Pick it up if you don't have it already. The book is Parenting the New Teen in the Age of Anxiety. It's available on Amazon or through Dr. Duffy's website. That web address is drjohnduffy.com.